Welcome to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast, hosted by Patti. Be prepared to hear stories of triumph, challenge, and overcoming. Along the way, you'll learn a few things too. But most importantly, you'll learn one thing. Say Bella, which means you are beautiful. Welcome to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast.
So welcome to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast, and we have the beautiful Brittany with us today. Brittany, I know it's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I'm going to spring something on you like I just did. I just told you 2 seconds ago. If you don't mind, just kind of take about 10 minutes and just share where you were before you started drinking Beauty Balance and Beauty Boost. I know that's hard, and I really didn't give you a chance. I just said, okay, all right, here we go. So if you can remember back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was interesting because I had a lot of life happening that was 3 months ago now, right?
Right, March 3rd.
Yeah. And there's continued to be
Yeah.
a lot of things happening, but
Sorry,
that,
you're good.
That was kind of a big moment for me because I just remember I was searching. I was like, okay, I am getting to the end of the day where I have that small moment with my family.
Yeah.
Because I'm business throughout the day. In the morning, I'm rushing out the door with my kids. And so when I get home after my work day, and I have about an hour, maybe two, if I'm lucky, with my kids before bedtime.
Right.
And I was getting frustrated that I was so depleted at that point. So I was like, okay, I have this small window with my family and I have nothing left. And so I'm just like more irritable. I'm tired. I'm like, okay, just go to sleep so I can get some sleep.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at. And that's where I started looking out to, okay, do I go to a place to get hormones checked? Because I just started learning about how that could possibly have an impact on you. I was so clueless with all of that. And I'm like, okay, do I pay all this money to go do one of those scans? Trying to look into, okay, how do I figure this out? Because I'm exercising, I'm eating right. I don't always get all the sleep I should, but I try my best. And so even on the nights I'm getting sleep, I was still feeling depleted at the end of the day. So I'm like, okay, there has to be other factors. I feel like I'm doing all the right things.
Right.
So that's kind of what started my interest in figuring out what other factors could be having an impact on me if I'm doing what I know I'm supposed to do to take care of myself.
Right. Good point.
But yeah, that's kind of where I was at when you mentioned that this was launching. And so I was like, okay, well, and I literally had a consultation with someone about doing a scan, and it was going to cost me, I think, over $500 to like do one of the scans. And I did 2 different consultations.
Wow.
And both of them, it was going to be a lot of money too. Yeah. But I was willing to, like, okay, I'm taking the vitamins, I'm doing the things. I don't know if it's even helping. So why not do a scan to figure out if I need help with something. But and then you mentioned you were launching it, and you mentioned trying it out. So I was like, you know what? Before I do anything else, let me try this.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. That's expensive.
Yeah.
And so I loved what you said, so you run a business, you're an insurance agent. Yeah. Full PNC and LAH?
No, just PNC.
PNC. Okay. That's property and casualty, cars and homes. I only know because I had my license years ago, or else I wouldn't have known. Yeah. And you're a mom of how many?
2.
2.
Little ones.
Oh.
3, they just turned 3 and 6.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So that is exhausting and a lot.
Yeah.
Between cooking and bathing and bedtime and And I loved how you said, I only have an hour or 2. You know what I mean? That's so true. And we don't always, I guess, think about that, right? And that you want to be your best, but who in the world can be their best at 6 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love how you said, I just didn't have the patience and I wasn't okay with that, which is really sweet. You're a good mom because I remember those days. Mine are all grown now, but you're so tired. And, being a health nut, and I know you're healthy and health conscious, We don't want to pull through a drive-through. So that means more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got to wash the dishes.
I feel like the question, what's for dinner, is like the word. That's like the 4-letter word to me.
Yeah, I remember those
That's
days
the worst
too.
thing you could say to me.
Yeah.
Don't make me think about what's for dinner.
My son used to always ask me, Mom, what are we having for dinner? And he'd be asking at breakfast, typical athlete. And I was like, I'm not sure yet, honey. And meanwhile, I'm making him scrambled eggs and toast or French toast or homemade pancakes from scratch.
Oh, man.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Or, oatmeal with eggs.
Made.
And then I made him a lunch, every day. Oh yeah, both my kids. And then they both were very, very active. He ended up being a college D1 baseball player. And so I would pick them up with a hot meal. Yeah. So that morning when he was asking me, I totally relate. I'd be like, oh my gosh, can we just get through breakfast so I can take you to school? Trying to make your lunch here. Yeah. And it was all, healthy stuff. And he's super healthy to this day. Yeah. So I get it. And, it's just so frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you feel like I think as women, and I don't know if you can relate to this, but, you knew that you wanted to give more. But like you said, you were depleted. You can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's amazing. Anything else that you remember? And I know I'm sorry I sprung this on you.
No, you're fine. That's the main thing. That was the biggest thing that drew me to I need to figure out how to fix this. Because I can't give my kids the leftovers and my husband the leftovers. I need to have energy at the end. And I've done everything that I know how to do. So there's got to be something off or something missing that I'm not knowing what it is.
I love that. That's powerful. You're eating right, you're exercising, you're getting enough sleep, or like you said, close to it, trying to anyway. And yet at the end of the day, which 5, 6 o'clock, your day begins as a mother, as a wife.
And I feel like that's way too early to be done.
I agree.
To not have anything left. I used to be a night owl. I used to start my nights going out at 10 p.m. And where did that go?
Yeah. I remember those. This was a long time ago for me, not so much for you.
But I was like, I knew I had it in me before. So just because I have a family and kids and business and everything now, why has it changed so much?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's true. I think a lot of people can relate. Yeah, for sure. And you're bringing me back to my days of, when I raised my children. I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted. And I can't do caffeine. So I had no solution. Yeah,
Well, and that's what kind of piqued my interest after listening to podcasts about hormones and after you have kids and once you get into your 30s and afterwards, how your hormones and shifts in hormones can play into having those side effects. And I never thought that was a thing before. I was completely clueless to that. So I was like, that was foreign to me.
Right.
So when I was listening to the podcast and I've heard a few different things of them talking about that, I'm like, okay, well, I've had 2 kids now. I have noticed a difference after the fact. And I feel like people normalize having kids. Like that's just kind of a part of life. You have kids and you move on and you continue with life, but there's not a lot of information about how it impacts you.
Yeah, I agree. And even, aging, nobody ever talked about it.
No.
Like they didn't tell me when I hit 60, I'm 62 now, you're going to be so tired. Strap in. Nobody said that to me.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how old I was when I'm way past menopause. I know I had it in my 50s. I don't remember exactly when. But it was so strange because when I hit 60, now I did break my femur bone, so I thought that was it, but I don't think so. I just couldn't get energy. It was so discouraging and so frustrating. And I'd be falling asleep in the afternoon, and I always felt like I didn't get anything accomplished. I'd ask myself, what did I do today? I'm exhausted. I got to go to bed. And like you said, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah. And you're right. There is more. There's more to life, right? Yeah. So I agree 100%. And, so I kind of want to just, unless you have anything else to add to kind of what you noticed before you started drinking Beauty Balance and Beauty Boost, anything else that you noticed before?
No, that was my main focus. I mean, I did have brain fog was kind of a thing that I would deal with but that's been kind of since having kids too, where my husband gives me a hard time now because I never know where my phone is. Oh, yeah. I've left for the office and turned around I don't know how many times to go back home and get my phone. And my kids all know when they hear the dinging noise when I ping it from my iWatch. Yeah. Oh, where's mom's phone? Let's go find it.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I do have those moments, but I think it's just so much going on in my head.
Yeah. Well, you have a business.
It's hard for me sometimes.
Yeah.
But that was also the thing. It's like, okay, when I'm at the computer, at the office, I need to focus.
Right.
And I can't say that that's a big concern of mine right now. So I'm guessing that it has improved because I have my moments, but it's not like, okay, I need to fix this.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the mental clarity. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still always looking for my phone. And I have adult kids. So, let's just say it was 5 years ago. So a little bit younger, but still they're 31 and 27. And there might be someone in the car. And I'd be like, did you see my phone? Where's my phone? And they would just sit there. So then they'd turn around to whoever was in the car. Oh, she does this all the time. She'll find it in a minute. Don't worry. I'd say, listen, you two. My daughter, mainly. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I think my husband just sits back and shakes his head.
Yeah, that's what she would do.
She's going to get it together again one of these days.
Yeah. But your sweet little 3-year-old and 6-year-old are running around. That's why I said that's so sweet.
They help me. Yeah. It's a game to them. Like,
it's
where's
so
mom's
sweet.
phone?
Yeah, who can catch it first? Yeah. Till they get older, like my daughter, and she rolls her eyes. I don't do it as much now, though, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, well, I appreciate you sharing, and sorry we kind of threw this at you here.
That's fine.
But we appreciate. So that's Brittany on no products before the Beauty Balance and the Beauty Boost. And so we just appreciate you sharing. And so thank you all for listening, and stay tuned to hear her 60-day of being on the products. And so with that, say Bella, and we thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Fiorina Beauty Podcast. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to enhance your wellness journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends and family. Your feedback means the world to us. Make sure to subscribe to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. We release new content every week packed with tips, stories, and interviews to empower you on your path to beauty and well-being. Remember, your support helps us grow and reach more listeners like you who are passionate about living a balanced and radiant life. Together, let's continue this journey of beauty and empowerment. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until then, say Bella. Thank you again for listening.